Assalamu alaikum, I'm Jay.
Assalamu alaikum, I'm Christy.
And we are Mr. and Mrs. Muslim. We're making this video here to address some questions and some current concerns that our brothers and sisters, viewers, have addressed or commented on. We've had some emails and some comments, so here we go. We'll start with this. The GoFundMe account, and I have some notes I'm reading off here. The GoFundMe account was suggested by our brothers and sisters.
Yes.
That watch our videos. It was not even a thought. We never even thought about starting a GoFundMe account until it was suggested by our brothers and sisters. The fund was started before we even were informed that we had to vacate the house that we're in. So at first, when the GoFundMe started, we were still in the house that we were in at the time.
Yes.
We were under the impression that the owner was going to work out
a lease agreement with us. It was a verbal agreement at that point.
Yep. That
they were going to work with us and write up a lease agreement on paper.
Absolutely. So at that point, portions of the GoFundMe from our brothers and sisters was going to go towards helping us with our current living expenses.
Yes.
Being that we have no income, I've applied for disability, and we'll get to that here shortly.
Yep.
So, first, the portion of the money was used to pay some overdue past bills that we had, like doctor bills, utilities, things like that. It also helped us to buy a washing machine. We hadn't had a washing machine in months. And it also helped to do several repairs that we had on our vehicle at the time, the car we had, which ended up getting totaled in an accident, so which we don't no longer have. That's where first portions of the money went. Then, at that point, we were informed by the owner of the house through their attorney. There was a court date we had to go to where we met the attorney for the owner of the house, right? And we were informed at that point that we had 2 weeks to move out of the house because the owner had backed out of the agreement and decided to sell the house as opposed to renting it out to us.
Yes.
Apparently, at the time, the attorney informed us that they had emailed us a week or so prior to that, but unfortunately, that email went to our spam.
Yep.
We didn't check the spam, and we had no idea. So at the court date is when we were informed we had to vacate. So that's when things became a real emergency.
Yeah.
So at that point, the funds that had generated in the GoFundMe account helped us to rent a storage unit for our belongings. It helped renting a truck to move those things, which here I'd made a video on. It was just the four of us, me and Mrs. Muslim and our children, moved us. And with my illness, whew, that was hard.
Yes, it was, definitely.
Helped us with the storage unit, the truck, and it has helped with the motel costs that we've been staying in. As you know, with the previous video, the first hotel we stayed in was terrible.
Good,
There was just blatant drug use, prostitution, and it was unsafe.
Yes,
it was absolutely unsafe. You know, in renting motels, we hate having to spend money on these hotel costs. We'd rather have it go towards a house, a rental unit, something like that.
Most definitely.
And with the motels, there are few places that allow pets. You know, we have our kitty cats. So with that being said, the places that do allow pets, the pet-friendly motels, they cost more than other motels. So rental houses are not as available as we had hoped. For what we're finding, not just in our area, but many areas.
Yes.
There are some places that are waiting lists for houses, for rental apartments, things like that. So they're not as quite available as we had hoped.
Yep, and they're not, and a lot of them aren't, they go through management companies to where you don't actually go through the owner of the house. They just have a management company, and with our situation, we need to be able to explain our situation so that they completely understand that this is where we're at right now. Things are going to get better. But going through how most landlords do, going through the management company, you just fill out an application, and if you're approved, you're approved, and if you're not, you're not. So.
Right. But we are remaining diligent. Every day we're looking online, we're driving through neighborhoods. We have looked at some houses. and the cost of rental houses, it's not like it used to be. They're
No.
expensive. They're really high now.
Even from 2 years ago, that they have skyrocketed. Even from a
Yes.
couple years ago.
Yeah. So we are, again, remaining diligent, looking for a
Yes.
house every day, because we hate spending the money on these hotels, I should say motels.
Not just that, there's no space. There's not a lot of, you know what I mean, for
Right.
us, for living
Right.
space. There's just not.
I mean, mashallah, I think that's the proper word, that we are grateful that Allah
Yes.
has blessed us. We are not complaining. We're not bitter. We are thankful that we at least have the GoFundMe that allows us to have a motel room
A safe
for us
place
and our
to
kiddies.
stay.
It's a safe place. We have a roof over our head right now. We have food to eat. It could be a lot worse.
Oh,
We are
definitely.
absolutely grateful.
Yes, we are.
But we just hate giving the motels our money through the GoFundMe, as opposed to it should be going to a house that we can
Yes.
live in.
Yep.
But, it again, I'll keep saying it is the will of Allah for whatever reason. This is how it is for us right now. And also, some of our viewers suggested, as far as raising the GoFundMe several times, again, that was suggested by our viewers, that through email and through comments that we raise the GoFundMe to actually try and buy a house. And, that again, that's not something we even thought of at the time.
Didn't.
So, based on those suggestions, that's why we've raised it. So, to our brothers and sisters that have given us the suggestions, and then everybody that has donated, I mean, JazakAllah Khair, thank you so much. So, we have prayed. We have prayed and asked Allah to bless each and every person that has been a part of this for us,
supported us in any way.
In our situation, whether it's through financial support, through just kind words and prayers for us.
Yes.
And we have prayed to Allah back to bless all of you.
Yep.
So right now, the bottom line of the GoFundMe, a portion of it has been spent on past bills, washing machine, car repairs, etc. Now, our plan with the funds that are currently available, to possibly buy a house, or if we have to rent, if that's the possibility to rent, then we plan to offer a landlord as many months ahead, paying for as many months ahead on rent as we possibly can.
Yeah.
We're looking at possibly, using the GoFundMe, the funds to say, hey, landlord, we'd like to pay a year's worth of rent in advance, or 2 years worth of rent in advance, so we can be settled, locked in, and we don't have to worry about our living situation for quite some time.
Yes.
At which point, my disability application through our state, the state has it at 83% complete. I'm hopefully it'll just be a few months. It's been 7 or 8 months now. The application process takes a long time.
But let me clarify that the application is 100. It has been and is 100% complete. It has been filled out and it has been submitted. There was a misunderstanding that some people were thinking that it wasn't filled out yet. Like, what's taking so long to just fill the application out? That's the process that's taking so long, is for the state to go ahead and review it and then approve it. So that's what's taking so long, is that.
Yeah, from the beginning, I hired a disability attorney.
Yes.
That's what the state recommends. So through the attorney, they sent the application for disability. The reason it is at, like Mrs. Muslim said, at 83%, what they do is they have to, they ask for doctors' files, everything on me from the doctors, from
the
whatever.
hospitals, all of that, and there's
that's what takes time.
Yeah.
So, but at 83%, hopefully it's just a few more months, and I will get approved for disability, which will be our income for the time being. Inshallah, one day my doctors here can find out what's wrong with this disease I have, so I can go back to work. I'm a licensed heating and air conditioning contractor, and I don't want to sit on disability, and I don't want to live off of GoFundMe. I want to work and make money for my family. So, yeah, that's our plans right now. If we can pay for, rent months in advance. And finally, with some of the GoFundMe available, since we don't have a vehicle, we're looking to purchase a reliable vehicle one that hopefully has low mileage and that doesn't need any repairs at this time for any time soon. Something that's reliable and safe for my family, that we don't have to put a bunch of money into as far as repairs.
Yeah.
Finally, just to say, you know, our fear of the wrath of Allah is something that we're not willing to risk by being deceitful to our brothers and sisters, to our viewers, to anybody that's been helping us financially or otherwise. I personally don't want to risk my place in Jannah with Mrs. Muslim. I love my wife more than anything in this world. Been with her for 25 years, and I do not want to risk. I want to be in Jannah with Mrs. Muslim, my wife, Christy.
There's no amount of money that could that would be worth jeopardizing any of that.
I'm not going to risk. We're not going to risk it by being deceitful and lying and scamming to everybody that's watching these videos.
Yep, we're pretty much an open book. What you see is what you get. If you have questions, go ahead. Feel free to email us. We'll be more than happy to answer them. I mean,
you know, on every video we've been posting our email address in the description. Feel free, reach out to us. We've said it before. Ask us questions. If you have any concerns or comments about our intentions, our situation, things like that.
I wish we could meet everybody personally, face to face. Like,
absolutely.
Meeting and talking to someone in person is so much different than just on video or over the phone even. It's just you can get a sense of that person, you know, when you're in person with them. And you know, we've met a couple
Haroon, the American Muslim revert, you know, he drove from the southern states up to Michigan where we live. Haroon stayed with us for a night, meal with us.
Such a blessing.
He knows us personally at this point. You know, when we get comments and emails from people from Malaysia and Europe and the UK, Australia, it's amazing. I wish we could, you know, video chat with each and every one of you. And so, like Mrs. Muslim basically said, you know, with us, what you see with us in our videos is exactly who we are.
Yes.
This is us.
That's it.
You know, we can only say JazakAllah Khair to everyone, and please just have faith in our intentions, that they are true and sincere. That's all we can ask, you know, and you base your own opinions and ideas on it.
Yeah.
You know, again, we post our email on every video. Feel free to reach out. We talked about Haroon. As far as us and our learning, you know, as far as Islam and our journey, you know, we don't share a whole lot of that right now because we still learn.
Yeah, we're learning.
We've had viewers send us several books. These are just a few of the books we wanted to show that help them, that are really immensely helpful, like towards understanding Islam. I always say it. I love this one, Al-Fatiha. Next one, and again, we have a stack of different books. These are the ones we've started with, you know, for a while now. Welcome to Islam. My favorite, personally, is How to Pray. This book is actually very informative.
Yes, it is.
That's what we've been working on, the basics. You know, it's, again, we're still fairly new, and as we learn, the more we learn that we feel comfortable with talking about. We don't want to talk about anything unless we're absolutely 100% sure of the facts about our religion.
Yep, we don't want to get anything wrong.
Exactly. So I think we basically covered everything. Again, you know, just it's up to you. It's up to you to base your own opinions. But we ask again. This is what you see is what you get, and just have faith that our intentions are true and sincere.
Also, there are some gifts that we've received that I haven't done. We haven't done a video on yet, just because the situation happened so quickly. But we will get to that.
We want to post more videos. Just with everything going on, we're busy looking at houses and doing things to better our situation. So in between, I try to make videos for us. And Mrs. Muslim has some gifts, some different clothing things that she's received through the mail that we're going to make a video of and thank the individuals for that. So I think we covered everything.
I think we have.
Right?
I hope so.
Okay, well.
We love you. We love you all, as always.
And keep in touch. We'll keep in touch. And JazakAllah Khair.